my fellow bohos. Today I'm going to show you my planning process for my freezer meals that I'm going to do for this fall. I wanted to go ahead and pick some that I know that'll be nice, comforting foods for the fall when it starts to get cooler out. Without further ado, let's just jump right in. So the first thing that I do is I go onto Pinterest and I go to different websites, usually blog sites, and watch YouTube videos of people doing freezer meals to get some inspiration to pick a menu, so to speak, for the meals that I'm choosing to prepare for freezer meals. So just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and turn you around probably for a while to show you what I'm talking about, and I'll just sort of narrate as I show you what I do. The first thing I usually do is I go to Pinterest, and I'm sure most of you know how to use Pinterest, but you can go to this search bar and you can type anything you're kind of thinking about, chili, or just search for anything that you're kind of looking for. You can go over to where you've already saved things, and you can see these are all of my boards, and I went to vegan meals, and there's just some different things, and I'll just scroll through and see if there's anything that kind of catches my eye, and then I might look back over that recipe and see if it's something that I can turn into a freezer meal, if I think would freeze well. Some pasta dishes don't freeze very well if you go ahead and make the pasta, but you can make everything but the pasta, and you can just freeze the sauce, so to speak. So that's one thing I do. And so another thing I do is I go to YouTube and I watch some of the vegan YouTubers that I follow. Supreme Banana is one. There's Cheap Lazy Vegan somewhere in the list. Bonnie Rebecca. Simply Quinoa is one of my favorites. Kristen Emily. Hot for Food. So I'll watch some of their videos where they're meal prepping or just doing a recipe, or you could type in freezer meal. I did healthy, or I did vegan too, and then you can just watch some videos to get some inspiration for doing your freezer meal. So once you've kind of had an idea of the kinds of foods that you want to write down, I would go ahead and bookmark them or just jot them down, the recipes that you're going to try, and just make sure you save the actual recipe. But just to be safe, I would write down the recipe name that you're going to use, and I'll show you what I do. Here's where I wrote down what I'm calling my freezer meal menu. You can see that I have beefy sweet potato chili, warm and cozy wild rice soup, nutty pumpkin risotto, simply quinoa's lentil sloppy joes, roasted red pepper chickpea curry, veggie enchilada casserole, and my husband's not vegan chili. And I actually wrote all of these recipes except for simply quinoa's lentil sloppy joes. That's actually just a favorite of ours. Once I wrote all of those down, I made sure I printed all of my recipes. And I just typed them all out because I'm actually saving everything for my cookbook that I'm going to be writing, and actually my blog, which will be updated with all of these after I actually make them and jot down notes if I change anything. But so here's all of my recipes and my directions. So after you determined your menu and you have all your recipes printed out and all of that's together, that's when you start jotting down ingredients that you need to make all of these items. Now I've picked 7 recipes that I'm going to make because I want to go ahead and get a good stockpile of these freezer meals. So I'm making a lot, but I'm going to be making 2 recipes a day. So if you were going to do that, and let's just say you wanted to make 2 recipes every Saturday for a month, then you would only need to write down the ingredients for the 2 recipes that you intend on making. But since I'm going to be doing them in consecutive days, 2 recipes a day for 3 or 4 days, then I went ahead and wrote down all of the ingredients that I needed, and I will show you what that looks like and explain a little bit more. I organized my grocery list based on where I'll find everything. I went through all of the recipes and I looked for like items. So if I needed corn or black beans, I kind of would actually mark them out on another copy when I jotted them down. So you can actually see here that I have literally everything, and I wrote in there if it was just a topping on the day that you're serving it, then I would write topping so that I would know that I wouldn't necessarily need to get that unless I plan on serving that particular dish for like dinner that same night that I make it to freeze, which would make sense for Bradley and I since most of these make 4 to 6 servings. So if it's something I think I would only eat that night and not Bradley, then I would probably go ahead and eat that for lunch or dinner that day whenever I'm making it. So you can see that I jot down the quantity of how much of everything I need. And then on the back I have all the herbs, spices, nuts and seeds, pasta and rice, and quote-unquote dairy. So then I have that whole list already ready. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through each item. You're gonna check your refrigerator, your freezer, your pantry, cabinets, wherever you store things, and you're gonna mark through everything that you have. So I already had a couple of black beans, so you just mark through the 3 and write 1 that I would need that. And I already had a can of chickpeas, so I could just mark that out. So then whatever you are left with becomes your grocery list. I'm going to several stores to get all of the ingredients for the freezer meal prep that I will be doing over the next couple of days. I will be showing you how I prepared all of this. I have my lists, and what I actually did, which I'll explain a little more later, is I made one master list using the Lowe's Food website. And then I'm just going to take that with me to the stores that I think I can get it cheaper at first. And then Lowe's Food will be my last store. And I'm going to go to Lidl, which is a new store. Then I'm going to probably go by Walmart, then Food Lion, then Lowe's Food, and then home. So when I get back, I'll show you guys everything I got. And I'll show you the lists and how I prepped everything mentally for these freezer meals. So, okay, I'm going to go do my shopping and I will talk to you guys later. Usually I plan everything 1 or 2 days in advance, kind of sit on my list, not literally but figuratively, to make sure that I don't need to add anything to my list or if there's anything that I just need for the house. In today's case, I did need some things for the house, so I did have some other items like laundry detergent and things like that that I picked up from Lidl. So I will show you guys a picture of what I picked up from Lidl and Food Lion today, and I will show you how much I spent for everything. But just know that not all of the things that you see in the pictures are for these recipes, obviously. So I just want to let you know what kind of shopping that I do when I go to the grocery store. This is kind of going into a topic that a lot of people wanted me to go over, is how I grocery shop and how I save money at the grocery store. So I plan everything. My grocery list, I do not just go to the grocery store without a plan. I usually shop at Lowe's Foods. I will go to this button where you can shop online. And this is something like if your particular store offers where you can just drive up and they go ahead and pick your groceries out, this is the website you would use. So I'm already logged in from earlier. Then you can literally just go to the search bar and type in what item you're looking for. And it'll pop up your options. So in this particular instance, I'm actually looking for a canned corn. Now I like the no salt added. So you could just add it to your list. And it looks like on the list over here, I only needed 1 can of corn. So I have 1 added. Then when you come back over here, you can see we have our can of corn in our list. And it updates our total. So you would do this for everything that you needed. And you can actually, for Lowe's food, you can mark right here for on sale. And it will only show you options that are on sale. I usually have this on all the time in all of my searches because I want to only see what's on sale first before I even go back through and look for anything. The number one rule when you're couponing or trying to save money is do not be brand specific. So do not be loyal to any brand. I am a little hypocritical about this because I do like to just get organic foods. So sometimes I'll pick the organic brand even if the regular brand is on sale, but not all the time. It kind of depends on what it is. So that is just sort of a quick overview of what I do of how I grocery shop online. I do not order this online because my store actually doesn't have the option to do pickup, I don't believe, but I can go over here at these three little dots and I can print my list, and that's what I do. So it'll print something like that. And then that way I can take it with me and it'll categorize it based on type, kind of like how I did here, where I categorized it by produce, cans, you know. So I also wanted to show you guys that you can do the same thing at Harris Teeter. You can go to order online, order groceries. I always use just the pickup. So then it's just basically the same thing as the Lowe's food website where you just type in what you're looking for and then it'll add it to your cart. And then you would have a running list here. And then you would just have to use your browser to print. But I wanted to give you a heads up on Harris Teeter. On the list over here, that the running total, it will not show you the sale price. So it'll actually keep a running total of what your retail price is. So if you use this, my suggestion would be to go ahead and just print your list out, but just make notes on another piece of paper what the sale price was, and you can just jot it down there, or just know you made the right choice on your list and just shop based on that list description. Another thing I want to tell you guys about is a shop called Lidl. I don't know how many Lidl stores there are in North Carolina right now, but there is one near where we live. It might actually be the only one right now. But I wanted to let you know, I haven't figured out how you can shop online, but you can shop the specials, sort of like their weekly specials, and it will tell you sale prices. I almost forgot to mention that I went to Lidl first thinking that I might be able to get the same items at that store for cheaper. So I just took that list, shopped off of the Lowe's food list at Lidl, and got the items that I could and marked them off. Then I went to Food Lion because that would be the other store that I think might be a little cheaper in some cases, and got some other things there. Turned out I only had about 3 items left on my list after Lidl and Food Lion, so I just went ahead and got those 3 items at Food Lion just for the sake of convenience. It would have only saved me about 75 cents to get those items at Lowe's Food instead, so I just decided to call it a wash and just go ahead and get them at Food Lion so I could go ahead and get home. So I would definitely recommend Lidl, and that is how you spell it and their website. Another place that you've heard me talk about repeatedly is Thrive Market, thrivemarket.com, and I will go ahead and put my coupon code in the description below so that you guys can order things on there. It gets you 25% off of your entire order, and I just wanted to show you, I basically would suggest if you need any of the spices mentioned in any of the recipes that I'm going to go over the next few days, I would recommend you order them from Thrive Market. They are ridiculously cheap for an organic spice, and you can see cumin, for instance, $3.95 for 2.31 ounce container, which is actually one of the larger jars that you can get, and it's organic. And I've actually seen organic cumin for about $7.99 or $8.99 in stores. Here it's showing that retail is $5.99, and so you're getting a 34% savings. And then on top of that, you would get 25% off if you used my coupon code. So I just wanted to show you guys that this is definitely where I would order spices and herbs. But Thrive Market, they have several different categories you can shop: cleaners, supplements, baby items, pet items, beauty and bath, and of course food. I order a lot of snacks on here, a lot of vegan snacks. You can actually go to the shop values and you can choose any of these options if you have like a special dietary need, like vegan or raw, paleo, for moms, gluten-free. So you can actually, this is a pretty good source to find things that you might not be able to find everywhere. Or if you're like me and your Whole Foods is 35-40 minutes away, sometimes it's easier to just order things from Thrive Market. And here is the link that you use to get the 25% off, but I'll also have a link in the description. Okay, my bohos, so that's everything that I do to get planned for my freezer meals. Like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and cook 2 meals a day for about 3 or 4 days, so that will put me in through the weekend. So I hope to have everything uploaded periodically throughout next week. If you have any questions about my process, or if you need help with anything, just comment below and reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help you out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can follow the recipes. So until my next video, I send love, peace, and tofu grease.